Welcome to the Center of Light.
Access granted.
Access granted. Granted, everyone. I am grateful that you are here with me and I am here with you, and together tonight, at least for a little while, we're going to play in the Garden of Soul, the Garden of Shiva, the Garden of Christ. I have a phenomenal guest, an old, quote, friend of mine. 10, 12 years ago, we met at a spiritual fair. Dr. Shelley A. Now I know how to remember her name. Spiritual fair, Shelley A. She's going to wow you. She comes with a powerhouse of light. She knows exactly what she's talking about. She does not jack around. She's very congruent. She's very solid in her work. You will discover that for yourself as you stick around and take a hit of that spiritual pipe. That peace pipe. We all are starving, wanting, longing, yearning, burning, and churning for everything that is. Tonight is just a different way that's coming your way. Dr. Shelley A, my guest tonight. Couple of adverts. I got to pay those bills, y'all. We need some dinerage. September 21st and 22nd, Memphis, Tennessee, Agri Center. 4-Point Spiritual Expo. $20 for 2 days, $15 per day. Why not do both days? If you're from out of town, come hang out with me on Friday night. I play music all over the city. We'll get a big old fat table, drink a big old fat pitcher of beer, and have some big old fat fun. Wake up in the morning, go get breakfast, and then we head to the 4-Point Spiritual Fair. I am a keynote speaker. Dr. Rita Louise, keynote speaker. Larry Flaxman, Discovery Channel, Ancient Aliens, keynote speaker. Lynette Marie, Preventative Health. Preventative meaning, organic living, eating, all that beautiful. She's powerful. She is like the guru in that field. There will be speakers all day. Sunday is going to be a speaker panel for the future of spirituality in the Mid-South as well as the world. That's going to take place at 6 p.m. I'm working on having, Dr. Shelley's going to love this, a God-realized guru from India show up. I'm working on it. I'm fortunate to be in his presence. Wow. Anyway, what a great reason to make a trip, even if it's across town. You can find more about this powerful event, thank you Victoria Smith, at Circle of Chi. That is Circle of QI on Facebook. You can also find it on the internet. If you need anything more from me surrounding this, dear Lord, Dr. Shelley, this is probably going to be one of the most powerful, I know Victoria, spiritual expos kind of things, unless you got something else to share, that at least I've experienced. So I am paying the bills. Welcome to Center of Light. My presentations, my interviews are never to freak out nor frighten, but to awaken and enlighten. It's all about empowerment. People all over the world are scared. And they're also starving. They don't know what they're scared of, and they don't know what they're starving for. I can see it in their eyes. I can also see it in their heart. that what we call order has collapsed. Don't get hooked on the word collapse. What that really means is infinite potential. You feel me? This is where we are. Thank you for joining me here at Center of Light Radio. Quickly, another first order of business is announcing those who comes to this platform regularly. You are equally responsible for the light through this vessel. Not me, the vessel, which is me, but this vessel, this platform, this grace I have been giving by my diligent work through the abundance of financial abundance or the abundance of people showing up like you do. Kim Gary, Nori Love, Leanne Dotson, Rob Cooley, what's up, dog? Gunslinger, guitar player. Chris Sidwolski. He's going to be on Center of Light Radio next week. Chris, give me that date when you can, sir. Becky, Kelly, Pam, Raworth, Linda, Mary, Anna, Monica, Mary, a different Mary, I think, Waverly, Gisela, Dana in the house, Healing Girl Quantum Field. She is, dear Lord, Lewis, Rick the V Vito, Rob, Carolyn, Linda. Wow, there's some Lindas in here. I think Linda means beautiful one. How you like that, girls? Let me grab a, oh my God, where did my, I'm going to get Dr. Shelley on here shortly. I need to open up a document to get some links. She is deserving of it. That's how I roll. One sec. There's going to be at this spiritual fair all types of healers, speakers all day, people handling stones, best-selling authors left and right everywhere. But it's not about coming there just to entertain yourself to buy something. We want you to invest in something. Invest. This is your vest. In there you go. That is Victoria Smith's mission. I believe in her. Right now I am posting all the links to my guest tonight, Dr. Shelley Kaehr. And we're going to be speaking about Edgar Cayce's Egyptian energy healing and all of those dealings. Let me play you something by a dear friend of mine. Listen to this. This is going to blow you away. 21-year-old Allie Wallace. She comes to my open mic on Mondays. She leveled the room with this song and many of her songs that she writes. And she'd written this one, excuse me, and I was talking to her in a one-on-one session about her path, a path for a person. And she wants her music, and I said, give me your song. If you got any recorded stuff, give me your song. I'll just play it for you. That'll reach thousands of people. She said, would you really? I said, absolutely. I'm warning you now, guy or girl, no matter who you are, you might hide it in a movie when a sad scene comes up and it touches you. Whoa. Or if you're an empath, the song is going to move you. Be right back with my guest, Dr. Shelley Kaehr. Edgar Cayce's Egyptian healing energy. Enjoy this beautiful song.
I don't know anymore. My mind and soul, they fight the war. Lost my faith in myself and everything else. Yet I'm so afraid to lose it all. I guess I'd rather try than die not knowing. I guess I'd rather fight than give up hoping that maybe you would find the courage to grow with me. All I want is you, nothing but you. This won't work unless you want me to fight for me, dear. That's all I ask of you. So go ahead and reel me in again. Love me good and make me feel something. Promise me you'll never let me go. Go ahead and break my heart again. If she flirts, she's more than just a friend. Fool me twice, I guess this one's on me. But don't you ever expect anyone to love you like me. I don't know anymore. I ask myself, what is this for? I wanna say that you're worth all the pain, but I don't know tomorrow. I just know today. I guess I'd rather try than die not knowing. I guess I'd rather fight than give up hoping that maybe you and I can make it some way somehow. But maybe it is best to give up hoping, suffer through the pain of losing you, knowing there's still so much of me that loves so much of you. So I'll go ahead and break your heart this time. In the end, at least it wasn't mine, though this hurts me more than I can bear. I promise you you'll find somebody new, and I know I'll find somebody who will love me for exactly who I am. But don't you ever expect anyone to love you like me. Like me. You lied, I thought you were my friend, a thief who stole my innocence. I fought and lost, your heart was not the broken one. I tried to fight the fears that I had to hide, but in the end, I'll let myself be free. So I'll go ahead and love myself this time. Cut you off, get you out of my mind. The pain is dulled and I can finally breathe. I'll work on me and find somebody new, 'cause I know I'll find somebody who will love me for exactly who I am. But don't you ever expect anyone to love you like I did.
Welcome back to Center of Light, you beautiful, sexy human creatures. What else is there? Play with me. Play my game with me, and I promise when we get done, the objective is your salvation, which is having fun. What else can you possibly be doing? Let me tell you about my powerful, she's going to light you up, guest tonight, Dr. Shelley Kaehr. And we're going to be speaking about, she's going to be speaking about, and Keith is going to be learning about Edgar Cayce's Egyptian energy healing. Let me read you the bio. I think, and I want your opinion after I'm done, Miss Shelley, is I think I'm going to start having my guests tell me about themselves versus reading the bio.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right? For nearly 2 years, for nearly 2 decades, Shelley A. Kaehr, Ph.D., has worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them to achieve greater peace and happiness in their lives, and is considered one of, listen, and considered one of the world's leading authorities on energy healing and mind body medicine. She is author of numerous books, including Edgar Cayce's Guide to Gemstones, Minerals, Metals, and More, and Edgar Cayce's Sacred Stones. A world traveler and popular guest, Dr. Kaehr is a leading expert on the practical use of gems and minerals to shift energetic patterns and frequencies. She has trained thousands of energy healing practitioners during her many years in private practice and has helped develop healing modalities including Edgar Cayce's Egyptian healing, energy healing, holographic mapping, among others. A world renowned past life regressionist. Oh my God, I am going to set up a session with you. Dr. Shelley's method has been endorsed by numerous leaders in the field of consciousness, including heavyweight, that's my word, including Dr. Raymond Moody and Brian Weiss, who called her book Lifestream an important contribution to the field of regression therapy. Prominently featured in the media on Coast to Coast, Art Bell, call into the wildcard line, 822-5533. William Shatner's Weird or What, among other programs. Shelley believes memories are stored holographically in the energetic fields around our body. Oh, dear Lord, we are on the same page already. And by combining hypnosis with energy healing, lasting change is achieved. I dropped that group of links into this forum, and I think I'm going to do that again. She deserves it. One moment. Welcome to Center of Light, you powerful lady, you.
Thank you so much, my dear friend Keith. You are wonderful, and I'm so happy to be back.
I love the play of
I know.
light that's happening. What
I
is
know
that?
what's going on. I don't know.
Leave it
When
there.
you were doing, I can't take it away. When you were doing the announcements, there was more, and it was just going all over the screen. So, yeah,
What? Whoa.
this is cool.
Wow. Thank you for joining me. I miss you. In fact,
I know.
I don't really miss you because I've only physically seen you with my eyes once at a spiritual fair in 2005, and we met and talked for 10 whatever minutes and waved and just knew there was a broham sandwich and a sister connection right there immediately.
That's right.
It's like I've known you forever.
Yeah, I think it's that Sai Baba connection that we have.
Please don't go there. Please go there.
Can we go there or not go there? I don't know.
Let's go there quickly so we can get
Okay.
down to the business at hand. Welcome everyone to Center of Light Radio Business. Take your seatbelt off. In life, put your seatbelt on. In spirit, take it off. That picture back there is an incarnation of not only the divine like Jesus and Buddha. There is no higher or lower, but this is something, quote, different. This is the embodiment of the Godhead. I wanted to ask you this again today. I know what we've talked about 4 or 5 times now. I want the audience to have a bang effect of the
Okay.
divinity that is here on this earth or has been. Would you please share what happened to you at your friend's house in Florida?
Oh my gosh. I haven't talked
Never
about
meeting
this
that
long.
divine man. If you want to refuse, it's okay.
No, I want to tell it. It's so wild.
Listen to this, audience. This is
I was
nuts.
doing some healing work in Boulder, Colorado, when I was introduced to a group of people who were doing transcendental meditation, and I became initiated into that. And they were really, it turned out they were big followers of Sai Baba. Well, I didn't know who he was. I went to a bookstore, and a book fell off the shelf. I mean, this sounds like, yeah, right, but it hit me in the foot, and I looked down, and there he was, and I saw his face. Several years later, I was in Florida speaking at an expo, and I was staying at my friend's house, and really late at night, someone called the telephone. This is a landline. I mean, this was in the days of cell phones. Landline rings, and she goes, "Shelley, I got a phone call." I go over there, and I hear this, Shelley, this is Sai Baba. I want you to light a candle and go meditate. And so I basically, of course, did. I guess since I've talked to you, though, I also went to Bangalore, but Sai Baba had already made his transition by then. And so I finally went back closer to the place where, his ashram was, although I never got to meet him in this life. But I just fell in love with everyone in Bangalore and I had an amazing time there. So, and you and I have that connection. And I've got a couple other friends who are connected to Sai as well. And I feel, just like we're a soul group of some kind, obviously. So.
Good
It's
night,
great.
everyone. We'll see you soon on Center of Light Radio. Wow, that is the level of magic that exists in, at least in your life, my life, many people's lives, everyone's life. In fact, we just somehow have learned something that truly does not serve us. We took it in. We can blame, and it's about responsibility. So I would like to shoot Shelley to move into your life's, at least for now, work with Edgar Cayce. What is? Let me ask you this in a really just fun way. What is your fascination with Edgar Cayce?
You know, you mentioned this briefly before the show, and the first thing I thought of was, I really don't know. That's the thing. I mean, it's another soul group. Raymond Moody introduced me to the people at the Edgar Cayce Foundation back in the early 2000s. We made an instant connection, and I ended up, they liked my books. I gave them a bunch of books. They gave me a book about gems and stones that had been written in the 1960s, and I took the book out to Tucson. And I thought to myself, my gosh, this certainly, hasn't been written about in a long time. And so I got home, I called them and said, hey, do you want me to update this book? And the day before I called, of course, they said, can somebody please update this book? And so I ended up writing my first book for them in 2005, another one in 2015. And then it's like every time I go into those life readings, it's like I get a
Wow.
download about just different
I want to. I
ideas.
want to
And that's how
interrupt you on
this
purpose.
happened.
I want you to
Yes.
continue, but I want to interrupt you on purpose. You said download. Lots of people talk about downloads in 5D and ascension. I want to know from someone of your, and I mean this in all respect and acknowledgement, someone in your level of awareness and consciousness. What is a download for you, and what does it feel like as it's happening?
To me, I'm just kind of getting blown away about all this light that's coming in here. I guess this is center of light. So, okay. Anyway, um, kind of like, well, a couple things come to mind. When if you had a computer, which we all do, let's say the computer's going to make a software update and then it just comes out new. There's just something getting downloaded from the server. In a consciousness download, it's kind of like something is coming, an idea, a thought, but it is not anything that you've ever thought about before. It's just kind of coming from consciousness, because I really believe, I mean, you're the musician, I just believe we're divinely inspired with the things that come through us, and they're coming through us rather than of us. And so it's kind of like an idea or a thought. It's particularly with the new book on Egyptian energy healing. I was just sitting there, I was going through the life readings one day, because Edgar Cayce gave over 14,000 readings during his lifetime, which is unbelievable. So, none of us can go through all of those in a single lifetime, just trying to even read them. And all of a sudden, this idea, I mean, it just came out. I don't know how to say it, just came into my mind. Download. That's how I call it. I don't know.
Was there a feeling associated with it, or was it just this?
This one was really
It's
holographic.
strange, Kelly. Because it's Shelley. Because it's strange because we didn't know a something before, but when it happens, it's almost as if there was an. I always knew that, like a remembering. Was that? Did it feel like that for you?
It was like that, but particularly with the Egyptian energy healing. The book was written when I saw there was one of Casey's life readings where the source that he channeled basically listed a bunch of symbols. And this may sound crazy, of course, but it just felt, I saw something, not with my physical eyes, but it was almost like an energy, like a full unit kind of came down in front of me, and I could look at it and I went, oh my gosh, this is a healing modality.
As you said,
Like
physical eyes. As
holographic.
you said, physical eyes. There is a light right across your face and your eyes.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Oh, I'm just
I
loving
don't
the
know what's going
synchronicity.
on. I mean,
Oh my God! In
I
fact,
see
your
it. I
whole
see it.
right, right. And
I
people say,
don't
"Well,
know.
Keith, this is just a simple play of light because she has a window open." Let's use that. There is a window
Okay.
open.
A window open to consciousness. I have
Dig
done a
it.
lot of interviews over the last 20 years, my friend, and I've never had anything like this happen. And we've Skyped before. I mean, you were the first person I Skyped with.
Uh
And I
oh.
don't know
Shh.
what's
You're not
going
supposed to be
on.
talking about that.
Oh, well, it's been a while we've been friends.
I just love your powerhouseness. So let me, just for the sake of fun, because if I don't ask this question, it's going to aggravate the living crap out of me. So let's just have some fun, and you can go into depth, or you can just say yes, no. So let me David Wilcox you.
All right.
Do you feel that you have some sort of, obviously, connection with Edgar Cayce, but I mean in, like, maybe possibly a personal way, that as to why you're so fascinated now in this experience, to why you're carrying forth said work?
I do believe that anybody who's drawn to that work is part of a larger soul group. And I actually did have a past life regression about that, because I'm starting to train regression therapists to do my method. And so I end up receiving sessions. And so I thought, well, that would be interesting to know. Why am I connected to this work? And what I got during that session was that it was more of a consciousness, that we're a consciousness rather than me.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I am so getting this, Shelley, overwhelming. It's blowing me away as to
This
why I
light.
truly had to interrupt you. So if you don't like it, too bad.
No, I like it. Tell me.
You are being seriously bombarded with Edgar Cayce consciousness right now. It's so overwhelming. I had no choice. I mean, it's like, and it's not. Listen to this. This is not just like a sunlight.
No,
Because
it's
a
not.
sunlight would be a steady, ongoing beam. This thing
Yes,
is alive. It's moving.
it is. And it was really moving when you were playing a beautiful song for the listeners. And the other thing I have to say,
Fuck.
see, I went to Egypt in 2000, and I don't think you and I have ever talked about this, but when I came home, well, first of all, I had a lot of past life memories there. When I came home, I had a near-death experience, and then I went into the light, and I was basically contacted by a blue lady
Whoa.
who downloaded another healing modality that I developed in the early 2000s that's definitely tied to Egypt. And so, so I put it away because I was doing my gemstone work, and a psychic told me several years ago, you will come back to this. And then that's when this thing just holographically sat down in front of me. And now here we are, and I'm back talking about energy healing again,
With a
which I never
holographic
thought I would.
light
Yes.
image all
And
around
we
you
can't
again.
make this up. This is I'm just sitting
No.
in my room here. I mean, this has never happened
And
before.
there's another holographic image of light yet again surrounding you. Again, if this is one sunlight, she would just have light on her face and it would just be
Friends,
still. This thing is moving.
I
So
have
this
no
is a
technical
conscious energy.
skills, okay? This isn't me, I promise. My
Wow.
technical skills are very limited. Isn't that amazing? I can't
And
wait
you
to
know,
post this on Facebook.
someone from the chat room says light across her eyes, obviously, and on the right side of her body. The right side of the body is governed by the left brain.
The left brain being more logical.
Being more logical, well, yes, I'm backwards, but the
Oh,
light.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
I know I am
This is
completely
just
backwards.
blowing me away.
Yeah, it's blowing me away logically. I don't know how to process it. And I've seen miracles. When I went to India to see B, not C, be in the
Yes.
proximity of my own illumination, making that my excuse, my logical mind could not understand it. So it shattered me like an egg, creation, new birth that was simply dropped on the floor.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
how do you feel? This is important. This is a really important question.
Well, I went out to sign books over the weekend because
But
I
how do
did
you feel right now, Shelley?
right
How
now.
that
I was
this is
just going to
happening?
say it feels like it's more of something that happened last week, and I was trying to check my hair in my phone to make sure it looked okay. And when I took a little selfie, I was like, oh my gosh, there was a being in front of me then too. And I was getting ready to go out and talk about this book. And so now it feels like this is more of that, but it's much stronger now. And I definitely have always acknowledged that I have help from higher levels of consciousness. I mean, I think that
This is like
people should acknowledge that.
this is like auric photography beyond 1,000. I mean, you can capture some light, some white in someone's crown chakra, and whatever colors that means, whatever, wherever it's located. You and I, before in the radio green room, we talked about in the future just jacking around, collaborating on an effort that, if someone's favorite color is blue, green, yellow, red, how does that possibly correlate to chakras? Were we just talking about that? I mean,
We did.
and then I pointed to my third eye, which is truly the color blue. No, well, exactly. That's indigo because this is light sky blue. This is indigo blue, and this has been across your eyes, hence aka eye, and that's that indigo blue, which is that royal.
Yes.
It's just truly phenomenal.
I just returned. I told you before, the listeners didn't hear this, but I just returned from Vipassana, which is a 10-day silent Buddhist retreat. And it was very, very profound. It was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And the cushions in the meditation hall were this color. And so I happened to have these sheets. I took them to the place. I've got sheets behind me. That's what this color is. And so I took them over to the meditation center. When I got there, that was the color of the cushions. And so now I'm just guided that I'm supposed to talk when I do these interviews, with this color behind me, because it is a powerful color and I love it.
If you would please tell us about Edgar Cayce, in as long as you like, short as you like.
Sure.
Who this cat is, what's his fang, his
My God.
fang and all that cool biz wax.
Yeah, so Edgar Cayce lived in the 1940s, and he's known as the father of holistic medicine. And how he stumbled into this was he was very sickly in his younger days, and so they took him to a hypnotherapist. And when he went under hypnosis, he went so deeply into trance that he couldn't remember what was happening, but he began to channel a being, let's just say that we call it the source. And the source began telling people just unbelievable amounts of material in terms of remedies for very critical health issues, and talking about past lives, mainly in Egypt, of course, and Atlantis and Lemuria and things like that. But the reason why I think it stood this test of time is because a lot of those remedies are very valid today, as well as a lot of the predictions that he made about various earth changes. And so my new book is basically about the fact that the source said that Edgar Cayce lived in Egypt as the high priest Rata. And basically, this book lays out, according to the source, all of the descriptions of the healing temples in Egypt. And so in there was a list of symbols. And so I started getting, again, just images in my mind of the pictures of how the symbols were to be drawn. And that's when I realized this was a healing system. And so the system, I've been teaching Reiki for almost 20 years, and I've developed galactic healing. I've developed holographic mapping and a lot of other different energy healing modalities.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You said a key word here. That's like mayonnaise on a sandwich. You said one of my favorite subjects is galactic versus planetary self-consciousness, global consciousness, solar consciousness, galactic. I love that far out stuff. Tell me a little bit shortly so you can continue about what is this galactic consciousness that you're referring to?
This is when, after I came back from Egypt, and when I went, I came home and I started hearing an inner voice tell me that there was something wrong with my heart. I was not going to live much longer. And I went up into the light, and I had a near-death experience where I ran into some beings. I saw my grandmother. And then when I came back, I started having a lot of energy running through my body. Like it would run up the right side and down the left. And I started just knowing, oh, I can lay my hand on here and then draw energy off and do things. And so I started being called to gaze up into the night sky. And I saw symbols in the stars, and I wrote them down. And I developed a healing system called galactic healing, which was shown then subsequently is when I was out in New Mexico. I was on my way to Santa Fe to work as a guest healer in a spa when I was stopped at a rest stop, and I was taking a nap and I saw something just whoosh into my mind, like a bright blue, not quite this color behind me, but a bright blue woman. And I opened my eyes, I looked around, there was no one in the rest stop. I showed up to the spa. I wasn't going to tell anyone about it, but the woman at the desk looks up and goes, "Oh my gosh, did you know there's a bright blue lady who's standing behind you?" Because she could see it out of her physical eyes and I couldn't. And I said, "Well, I was kind of thinking there might be." And she said, "Yeah, she's here to teach you things." And so it's just a lot of things happen over the years. I hit my head, and then I started doing language of light back before it was cool. And I was doing a lot of things. Now it's cool. And everybody knows it.
Back before 5D and Ascension and downloads was
Yes,
cool. I love it.
yes. It was back when everybody thought it was nuts. And then I guess I ended up having some friends who took over the galactic healing, and I kind of went off and did my gemstone stuff and other things. And then, like I said, just recently, I didn't tell anyone I had written this book, Edgar Cayce. And so I was kind of guided, no, don't tell anyone. About 6 to 8 months ago, I started having people from the deep past, like yourself, contact me and say, "Oh my gosh, that galactic healing was the greatest thing we ever did." And people started, because I don't really teach it unless it's requested of me, because it just hadn't been in my mind. And I thought, wow, this is weird that people are talking about this again. And so sure enough, then it's all kind of blending in together, because the frequencies of the planet, as everyone should know, are totally different than they were in the 2000s. So the Cayce modality is a series of symbols that this new book actually tells you all the symbols, shows you what they are, so that you can put them into your energy field just the same way a Reiki master would do. And I teach you how to do a self-attunement. When you deliver these symbols into your energy field, it sends the field spinning in a counterclockwise direction, and then a ball of light is established around the person. And I've been really guided from all of these things that are around here, and that this is really important for people right now, because it's putting the energy field in alignment with the rotational direction of the earth, which is counterclockwise, and it tends to ground people. But I've been doing, like, I'll show up to these expos, people just be lining up, and what I'm doing is, I'm saying, "Okay, you're getting a book, I'm going to go ahead and give you that attunement." They're just lining up, and I've had different reactions, everything from, "Wow, that was relaxing, I feel like I'm more grounded," or, "Oh, wow, that pain went away," and everything in between, because everybody's working on different things. But I'm really guided that it's a very important little process, because we always have to be working on our energy field, because the planet is in constant flux and constant motion. And so these new energies that come in sometimes are helping us to continue to raise up into these higher frequencies as we're going through this ascension process that we're currently going through right now. So
I love that you had this awesome bang of an experience. It's just a simple yes or no if you want to tread there. How did your near death experience come about, and what did it feel like to be you in it?
it did not come about through accident or anything. I wasn't in some horrific accident, but I started to just hear. It was after the Egypt trip. I don't know, something about being there completely shifted my energy. And when
Yeah,
I
we go
came
back to
home,
Egypt again.
yes, I came home, I started hearing an inner voice, which I never had had that happen before. And I really heard the inner voice say there was something wrong with my heart. And so one night, I literally, shortly after I heard that, I lifted up out of my body. I went into the light, and I remember seeing quite a few beings there, but the only one that I really recognized was this grandmother. It was my father's mother, who passed away shortly after I was born. Because when I was born, I was healthy at first, but I got gravely ill and I wasn't expected to live. And so my grandmother then all of a sudden passed away, and then I made a miraculous recovery. And so I always thought she was my guardian angel, but when I saw her in the light, then I knew that for sure she was my guardian angel. And it was all very telepathic, but somehow I knew I had to come back. And then when I came back, that's when they took me to the hospital. There really was something wrong. I mean, I was barely alive. They hooked me up to the machines. And then after about 24 hours of observation, they couldn't figure out any conclusions. So they called it a, quote, virus. And then they just sent me home, with some medical bills and a big mystery. And then after that, that's when I started downloading all these energies and all this weird stuff started happening. And then I was pretty much, uh, bound for the mental hospital, I guess. And then everybody thought I went nuts. So I didn't work for a while, but I went back to school, and that's when I started studying energy medicine. I was going to get a psychology degree, but because I probably needed a psychiatrist at the time, but I had to take a statistics class, and I'm thinking statistics doesn't make sense because these things that are happening to me cannot be explained through numbers. And so I found the American Institute of Holistic Theology. Parapsychic science is what I got my Ph.D. in, which is basically energy medicine, which made a lot more sense to me. And then I started writing books, and the rest is history, as they say, and continues on. The journey and the adventure apparently is continuing on with whatever this is that's in front of this camera right now. I'm just excited. I don't know.
There is, you have such and I mean, these words that I'm selecting, I'm not selecting them, I'm vesseling them. You have such an amazing cadence about you. I'm use this word on purpose. Don't take it out of context, anyone. In her rambling on, so to speak, in her incessant going into it, she, like many people, don't want to leave that cave. We don't want to leave that samadhi, because that's where the nugget is. That's where the juice is. And of course, she's lingering on like I do, like I'm doing. Now, before we go to commercial break, song break, let me ask you this, Dr. Shelley. Kaehr.
Yes.
This is a different kind of question.
Okay.
I think people would appreciate such a question because it creates a meter, a stick of measurement. Doing what you do for however long you have been doing it, and your investment, your engagement, all that stuff. How does it feel to be Dr. Shelley Kaehr? Seriously, how does it feel to be you?
Wow, I think I've been doing this long enough, and I took a break for a long time and went and did some other things. So now that I'm kind of back to it, the time that I spent in Vipassana, 10 days of silence, full meditation for over 8 hours a day, what happened in there was physical pain in the body, and it was being twisted off just by meditating. And it reminded me of the things that I talked about in the early 2000s. And it gave me more of an experiential experience of the fact that thoughts really are things. They are occupying energetic space in our beings. And the things that I said in the early 2000s are absolutely true. All the books I wrote, I still stand by that stuff. And I believe it. And now what's been so refreshing is that, like I said, I can talk about language of light. I can say an alien contacted me and everybody's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I just feel like maybe now is the time that we're getting ready to have this shift. Like you said, there's a lot of discord. There's a lot of stuff going on. But I feel like we're just getting ready to have the shift that we've all been waiting for. We just have to hang in here. And I feel like we're almost there. And so being me right now, I have to tell you, is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. And I'm loving meeting the students. I love meeting all the really young people who are coming to the expos and stuff, who are searching. And a lot of them are so awake and so aware to what's going on and stuff. It's just really been a blessing. And so I feel very grateful. I'm very happy. I've been trying to find as much joy in my life as you do. I mean, through music and dancing. I do a lot of Zumba and yoga and stuff, meditating to try to maintain positivity through, difficult times. Okay, but you know what? I still feel like good times are coming. And we just all have to keep the faith and keep going, keep rolling.
Yanava here, center of light. Make no mistake about it. I love the idea. You can tell that, let me tell you how you know that you are on not a path, the path. That when you see people, you just want to grab them around their neck and kiss them on both sides of their face. And just say, my God, you are such a blessing in my life. That is what's called a tell. Let me tell you something else. Some Lavender Soul. We're coming out with a brand new album. We're starting to write it. Memphis Symphony Orchestra members. We're thinking about calling the album Atmosphere. We got like 5 or 6 songs in the rough. Let's see what seems appropriate. How about... What am I looking for? We're always looking. I'm looking, and as I am looking, coincidentally, for that exact file. What am I looking? Here we go. I wrote this song in about 15, wrote the whole idea out in about 15 minutes. I had a keyboard and guitar, and I'm playing these basic chords. And halfway through the song, you're going to hear a baby cry. But when I recorded this song, inviting the Memphis Symphony Orchestra members, there was something I wanted to be nothing, absolute nothing in it. Quiet, so I can understand what the fuck I'm looking for. When my son was about 4 months old, one day he was crying, and I'm walking through the house to go get him his bottle, whatever. And Edgar Cayce, or whoever, said, I have some light for you. So I had to keep my son, sorry buddy, Eden Sky, your dad didn't mean any harm. I had to keep him agitated so he can keep crying, so I can boot up my computer, open up my software, and hit record. I did not manipulate this soundbite. The cadence you are going to hear, I used that word a minute ago, cadence. The cadence you are going to hear is so perfectly inserted. Enjoy. Lavender Soul, what am I looking for? Dear Lord.
Thank you. All right. So are we on a commercial break now?
Inside. What am I hoping for? A better world, is there a can I do to help the score? I'm at a loss, I'm just not sure. What am I praying for? To see the light around the world and the people's love restored. Peace on earth, of this I'm sure.
Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? You hold the key to find your answers. I am the door you have not tried. Never again taking chances. Open your heart and walk inside. Walk inside.
Hello, all of you sexy, beautiful human creatures. I want to play something for you because I'm a knucklehead. I love it.
Access granted.
You have access to everything that means anything at all. My question is very simple, without judgment. What are you doing to take your life to that place of infinite access, infinite possibility? The worst that can happen is you gain everything. Tonight, my guest, Dr. Shelley Kaehr, we are speaking about Edgar Cayce's Egyptian energy healing. Welcome back to Center of Light, my friend from many years ago. And that light around your head is changing in ever beautiful ways. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
There is a little hum happening. Is something somewhat unplugged, possibly? It doesn't matter. It's not that important. I just thought maybe it'd be a quick fix. No.
I swear to you, I haven't moved.
In fact, it's probably my refrigerator. So what is on the plate soon for Kelly? Shelley, are you moving more into the Edgar Cayce stuff, or do you have epiphanies about new ideas and new things that you want to bring into your fold and experience and unravel? Good word, unravel.
I am constantly working on my obsession with past life regression, and I've got a book coming out in the spring from Llewellyn called Meet Your Karma, which is going to feature a method that I developed that helps people relieve their anxiety, depression, and trauma. When it's not quite happening, we need to go into a past life and clear those things.
So what you're saying possibly is that what could be happening, we can say, well, John Doe, tell me about your life. Is there any trauma? They may say no. So if this is happening, it could be coming bridged over from a past experience as coming back to say, hello, do you remember me?
Yeah, just really tough things that we all go through when we're working on them and then they're not getting resolved. Sometimes it's because we haven't gone back to the source event. And so by accessing past lives and clearing it out at that level, then the quantum field heals and the person can move on.
I did a past life regression some years ago with William Henry. Right?
Yeah, nice.
Shelley, I'm going to divulge something to this audience I've only divulged once. And it's
Okay.
not because I want to, whatever. I know the gateway of my life. I know my heart that is invested. Whether it's true or not is not the point. My life and what I choose makes it the point. That being said, I have past life memories of being the Baptist. And this is not, I just want to be a biblical figure. It's not about that. In fact, I don't want it. I don't want that blessing curse. I remember back in the VHS days, I watched a videotape that would regress you back. And there were 10, 12 people in my apartment. 3 out of the lot had an experience, and I was waking looking at sandals on my feet. But when I was with William, I went back and I saw that very experience. Head being cut off, being in jail, being a messenger. Whether it was a true last past life experience or where I'm aligning with such energies as to why I'm tapping into it is irrelevant. But I also saw something, as the observer, the experience of something then we have not known about John the Baptist, which is my hands being cut off. Being cut off. Because I was on the bars, or he was on the bars. When I met Swamiji Viswayogi, the God-realized man I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, let me see if I have a picture of him. Please let me have a picture of him in here, just so to further the point and the beauty of this. And I don't shame quote on me. I don't. When I met this divine avatar for the very first time, I walk upstairs where he was staying. As soon as I crossed the threshold of the door, he said, "Welcome, welcome. It's always good to see you." As if he's seen me before. Why would he say that? He didn't say, "Nice to meet you." He said, "Oh, you're a favorite. You're a favorite." This is not a bragging point. He said, "You're a favorite." He said, "In your past life, presently, you're close to God. Past life, very, very close to God." So I had that experience. I would love a session with you. What can we expect as a viewing, listening audience if we choose to have a session with you? In other words, some people may say, love the idea, but it might be a little frightening.
Well, I think you brought up a good point because, see, the thing is, everybody has a story that can be accessed when the right questions are asked. And so, but I don't know, is it your real past life or is it archetypal? But like you said, what comes through is something that's important to your soul journey. And people, most of the time when I regress people, I send energy with the regression because I'm addressing not only, the verbal aspect of what they're going to be telling themselves or learning about themselves and revealing, but also the fact that thoughts are things. And so there's energetic components to those past life memories. And so it's usually not scary at all. It's more like just listening to a guided meditation. And then it really gets into the idea that these pictures, thoughts, and feelings are coming up. We really don't know exactly, we don't know exactly are these archetypes or what, but if we can just simply acknowledge them, honor them, and go with the message that's coming forth, then a lot of revelations about the soul journey can really be revealed. But the only reason why we do it is so we can go back there and then come back into our current life and say, okay, what is my purpose? How do those things that I've just experienced from this supposed past going to inform my purpose so that I can move off into the future? And even within this current life, when I'm really putting this all together and reaching forth to help my fellow mankind and my fellow beings to live happier, more peaceful lives.
With you, like others, I get so much fun and joy just jibber jabber. We sometimes, I sometimes, as the host, which I should captain the ship, but I love the fact that the ends are loose ends. There's no way. That's perfect. But tell me more about your work with Edgar Cayce's Egyptian energy healing, because we're just having so much fun. We kind of overshot the title and the purpose of you presenting your love, your passion.
Well, all of it's my passion. That's the thing. I do feel really strongly about the book. The first half of the book goes into a lot of the things that the source and Edgar Cayce said about all different aspects of healing, everything from another short section on gemstones to how to breathe, to essential oils, to how to work with our guides and ascended masters. But and all of that is interesting. It's for me though, it's the second half of the book where I introduce you to a brand new healing modality that has been based on the Edgar Cayce readings and really brought through by the source, you know, 75 years ago. And for some reason, this is very powerful. I feel like it's important at this time. I watched the show I think it's called Destination Unknown with Josh Gates. And it's this show on the Travel Channel where he goes out and he tries to find like Genghis Khan, but he never finds anything. Well, recently he went to Egypt and they actually cracked open the tomb of one of these high priests. They had never done this before, ever. And I think this is happening. This happened in May, and my book came out in June. There's a reason why this information is coming forth right now. And I'm just asking everybody, if you're a Reiki master out there, if you've taken any kind of healing or you are interested in energy healing, just take a look at this little method. You can do this method from start to finish using the second half of the book and just try it and just see if it resonates with you. I feel it's a very cool little method. It only takes a few minutes to do. And it seems to bring a lot of peace to the people that I've worked with so far.
Is the reason Edgar Cayce is deemed the sleeping prophet because most of this prophetic stuff happened to him when he was sleeping? I don't know this, so I'm just using logic, which is also can be seen as a not good thing. Is that why?
Hey, that's a good job, Keith. Good job. Yes, my friend. Yeah, you did it. Yeah, because he didn't remember a thing. I mean, when he went into trance, he did not remember a single thing that was said, and he had his stenographer take notes about all the things he said. And so much of it has been proven. So much of it is valid. And the fact that when I had this idea, I was having this idea for about 5 years. We need to do a book on energy healing. No, we don't want to do that right now. Okay, great. Next year, call him again. We need to do this book on energy healing. And each year, a little bit bigger piece of the puzzle came through until finally, when I saw those symbols, I said, this is a healing modality. And the fact that the foundation has published it, they're endorsing it. This is information that was actually channeled through 75 years ago or so. And for some reason, it is surfacing right now. And I'm just saying, I think it's awesome. I think people should just check it out. Why not?
Let me poke you a little bit.
Okay.
Why? Because I can. We trust each other. What else are you into? Spiritual, whatever. What else is Shelley into that is equally spiritual? It could be remote viewing or astral projection, anything like, or it could be just you dancing, or what else are you into? Because I think it's important that people see, witness, understand what living a lifestyle of just being in bliss provides and what it may look like on you. Sometimes we need visual sight to see what that is so we can mimic it. What is a night on the town or a day, whatever for Shelley Kaehr that, hey, here we go, that does not involve Edgar Cayce, so to speak? What is a
Well, the real daily life, I go to the gym like twice a day, and I do a lot of Zumba, a lot of dancing classes, all different kinds of dancing classes. Really started picking that up about a year ago, and it's brought a lot of joy to my life. I realized I switched gyms because I'm a devoted workout person. I had been going to the same place for about 20 years, and I was really guided I needed to make a change. And when I went to the new gym, I started taking these dance classes, and the teacher would stand up on the stage, and she'd go, kind of imitating the crowd because, making fun of us because nobody was smiling. And I started going, oh my God, you know what? I don't think I'm smiling either. And so I started really working on smiling and kind of faking it till I made it and shaking and moving. And I found that over a period of time, I started increasing joy in my life that I think I had unconsciously just slipped into, mindless drone mode for a while. And so now I'm real conscious of the fact, we need movement. We need to be around other people. I do a lot of yoga. And of course, the Vipassana changed my life. I mean, I'm really committed to this idea. They teach the method that was originally taught by the Buddha, just to go within and just mind the breath and tune into the body and be very mindful of not running away from things, but not clinging to anything either. And so if we have a pain, rather than being, oh, no, I don't want that, go ahead and dive in and see what's there. Get to know yourself. And then you realize that a lot of this stuff just falls away. And so that's kind of what's bringing me a lot of bliss at the moment.
Shelley, I've been sharing your links throughout this forum 3 or 4 times now. You know what? I'm going to follow my intuition. This show lasts as long as the guest can, be it at least up to 2 hours, no less than an hour. So I split it right down the middle, 1.5 hours. So that being said, we got whatever minutes. So as I'm watching this play out, this light phenomenon behind you is
I know.
freaking me out. Not freaking me out. I went to India. I hung out with God. I get it. But freaking me out because I'm trying to attract ratings. Everybody I need ratings. But I'm watching this light phenomena that started here, then it went to here, then it went to here, and now this patch of light is behind you, implying there is no sun. There is no sun because your face is completely blacked out. So what I'm saying is, we had the light phase of our interview, and now we're having the moon
That's
phase.
right.
of
Having
our
a
interview.
full moon. That's right.
So
The
I think
solar
it's
eclipse phase.
so I think it's waning. How about you leave us with a very delicious, powerful thought beyond what you give me that core of Shelley listener audience ship thought.
I just hope that people can find happiness and joy and in the simple things in life. I just want to see people finding their bliss again. And I'm very concerned about some of the things that are going on. We don't need to talk about what they are because we all know what they are, but I hope that you'll just listen to yourself, honor yourselves, love yourself, dance, and like Keith, like you're such a blessing. I mean, just reminding everybody to have a good time. Why not? Why does it always have to be so serious? Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. We're here. Might as well.
Thank you very much for allowing me to play in your experience. I really, really mean that.
Thank you. This is going down in the records books, my friend.
We can do this anytime you like. You got a new book, you got a speaking event, you want to just do a frickin' far out conversation about aliens or this or that. Keith, I just feel froggy. Can we just do a spontaneous broadcast? Yes, we can.
All right.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
All right, my friend.
Wow, everyone. Dr. Shelley Kaehr here on Center of Light Radio. It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get finer than that. You can liken that to a very fine wine that you could bet your sweet bippy that Jesus created at the wedding. Whether that's metaphorical or literal, it doesn't matter. What matters is that anything like that has such beauty, power, punch, matters to you. So I ask you, simply, what matters to you? What matters to you? What matters to you is of most importance to the entire world. Don't delude yourself by living in what you think you don't deserve. I'm here to be an aggravating, loving reminder for you that you deserve everything that you can think of and infinitely more. And you can bet your sweet ass for sure I am always here as yours. I love you beyond measure. It is my pleasure to give you this treasure trove